Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me. Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Oh, create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within.
We stand on the earth, so we better stand for her together. We stand on the earth, so we better stand for her together. Stand up for Mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for Mother, stand up for each other. We were put in this paradise It's our job to guard her life. We were put in this paradise. It's our job to guard her life. Stand up for mothers. Stand up for each other. Stand up for mothers. Stand up for each other. Oh.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to our Erev Shabbat service. Cantor Paul Bush. I'd like to welcome Rabbi Jonathan Kupitz.
Shabbat Shalom, all. So wonderful to have you with us on this Shabbat. It's the end of another week. We can take a deep breath, let it out, try to be present here with each other. We're going to begin our service for those who have a Siddur at home on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem. For those who are following along on the screen, I am sharing the words. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malchei, 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 Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malchei, 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 Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malchei, 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 Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Everybody, yadadai, yadadai, dai, 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 dai. Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malchei, 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 Elyon, Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu.
We turn to kindling our Shabbat lights. You can see some Shabbat lights there over Cantor Paul's shoulder that are burning there. We're going to join in our blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
Now we are going to take a moment to review our week, to reflect on each day, starting with last Shabbat, on its blessings and its challenges, to work our way through the week, to breathe a little bit, and then we'll join back together with Lecha Dodi. We will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, I invite you to rise if you're able, or turn your chair toward the entrance to your room or the entrance to your home to welcome the Shabbat presence into your home and into your heart.
Lecha lecha dodi, ligrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala. Lecha lecha dodi, ligrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala la 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 la. Lecha dodi, ligrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala. Lecha lecha dodi, ligrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echan, Hishbe'anu el gam yuchan, Adonai echan, U'shmo echan, L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila la 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 la, Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Penei Shabbat de kavala, Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Penei Shabbat de kavala. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikerem nitzucha. So ma'aseh b'makshavat chilal la 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala. Hit oreri, kiva reich, kumi uri, shirdaveri, kevod Adonai alayich, la 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala. Voi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha uv'tzola, toch emunei am segula, voi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, Shabbat de kavala, lecha dodi, ligrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala la 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 la, lecha dodi, ligrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala, lecha dodi, ligrat kala, penei Shabbat ne kavala.
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
It kadal v'it kadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyom echon ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabba Mivarach Le'olam U'Lolmei Olmaya Yitbarach Ve'yishtabach Ve'yitpa'ar V'yitramam Ve'yitnasei Ve'yithadar Ve'yitaleh Shemei de Kudesha Berichu Le'ela min kol birchata V'shirata Tu Shbechata V'nechemata Da'amiran Be'alma Ve'yimeru Amen.
Continue with Baruch Hu, our call to prayer. Page 28, if you're in a place that you can comfortably stand, I invite you to do so. If not, maybe sit up a little straighter where you are for our call to prayer.
Lai la 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 lai la lai Lai la 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 lai la la lai Lai la 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 lai la 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 lai Lai la 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 lai la la lai Lai la 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 lai la 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 lai Lai la 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 lai Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
We continue with the last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30.
El Chai v'kayam Tamid yimlach aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Haravi.
Amen. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
Ve'ahavatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Hamariv Oev Amo Yisrael.
Amen. Connect to the Holy One and to the oneness of all that is. Join in Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad.
Page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Continue with Lama'an Tizkaru.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Emet. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot osei feleh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot osei feleh. מלכותך ראו בניך, וקיים לפני משה ומרים. דאלי זה אלי אנו, ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורת תהילות עושה פלא. נורת תהילות עושה פלא. נורת תהילות עושה פלא. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Shemo.
על ישראל.
Page 42, as we ask God to watch over us in the evening, to let us lie down with a sense of shalom, of wholeness and of peace, to wake up with a l'chaim, with a full sense, a full embrace of life.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu shomreinu lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu shomreinu lechayim Ufros alenu sukkot shlomecha Tzatenu uvoenu Ufros alenu sukkot shlomecha Ushmor tzatenu uvoenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu shomreinu lechayim Baruch atah Adonai Haporei sukat shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim Amen.
We give thanks for Shabbat. Oops, hold on. Can't see me. Let's do this. We give thanks for Shabbat and join in singing Vishamru, page 44.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Latzor et HaShabbat Lidorotam v'rit olam Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Latzor et HaShabbat Lidorotam v'rit olam Ve'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam Oti leolam Oti leolam Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Latzor et HaShabbat Lidorotam v'rit olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat latzor et hashabat lidorotam v'rit olam Uv'yom hashvi Shabbat v'yinafash Shabbat v'yinafash Shabbat v'yinafash Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Latzor et HaShabbat Lidorotam v'rit olam
Continue with our Amidah if you're in a place to stand or create some kind of holy space around yourself to be able to do that. We'll sing the first, our introductory verse and then our first three brachot, our first three blessings together, and then have a few moments for the text of our own heart and a musical contribution from Dr. Randy Polbush.
Adonai, Sefatai Tifta, Ufi Yagi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gamel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avod V'imaod, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lima'an Shemo V'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol atah, Rav leHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'morid HaGashem. Mechalkel Chaim bechesed, Mechayei HaKol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofech cholim, Umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato b'sheinei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, melech memir chayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atala hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
Amen. Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer for the text of your own heart. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom to everybody out there. on this Shabbat evening. I'm going to shift back to the classical repertoire this evening for my piece, my contribution, in the form of Felix Mendelssohn's, one of Felix Mendelssohn's songs without words. And before I play that, however, I wanted to give you a little bit of background information. His dates are 1809 to 1847, so very, very short life, at 38 years old, just cut tragically short. From a Jewish perspective, it's interesting to know his paternal grandfather was the great Jewish philosopher Moses Mendelssohn, who was considered one of the great philosophers of the German Enlightenment period. And unlike so many other composers of the 19th century in Europe, Mendelssohn was born into a family of privilege and wealth. And so his life was consequently quite serene, happy, and generally free from suffering. And for this reason alone, he's sometimes been criticized for lacking emotional depth in his compositions. During this time in Europe, the early 19th century, Jews were marginalized in society, and again, this is only going to get worse over time. And to practice Judaism during that period of time was to limit one's access to professional activities, in this case, as a professional composer. So at the age of 7, at the urging of his father, who had already converted to Christianity, Mendelssohn was baptized into the Protestant Christian faith, just for the reason I just mentioned, that it was generally easier to succeed in the business world, or in the music world in this case. And despite the fact that he did convert, the historical record maintains that he was still very proud of his Jewish heritage and ancestry, and tried to achieve some kind of balance, even though he was outwardly practicing Christianity in his life from day to day. And it's just ironic that in the 1930s, the Nazi regime banned Mendelssohn's music to be from being played as part of its xenophobic campaign to cleanse and purify music from all unjust or undesirable influences, despite the fact that Mendelssohn had already converted to Christianity during most of his life. He was branded as a Jew, like so many of the Nazi targets of that era. So this is one of Songs Without Words. It's one of my favorites. It kind of projects a feeling and mood of simple happiness. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for that beautiful piece. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom to all of you. And like to share a little bit with you for this Shabbat. Last Shabbat, not during our Shabbat service, but on Saturday, we learned of the death of one of the greatest rabbinic sages of our time, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks. Rabbi Sacks was the former chief rabbi of Great Britain, an author of dozens of books with followers both Jewish and non-Jewish throughout the world. At the core of all his teachings is the central idea that Torah is a living document that speaks to us today as much as it has for thousands of years. I'm going to share tonight some of Rabbi Sacks's teachings on this week's Torah portion, Chaye Sarah, which was one of his favorites. When Abraham returns from the Akedah, the binding of Isaac on Mount Moriah, he learns of the death of his wife, Sarah. They had traveled the world, changed their names, built a life together. And yet Sarah, who lived to be 127 years old, died alone without her son or husband. The rabbis of the Midrash teach that her death was one of emotional distress upon hearing what Abraham was doing on his trip to Mount Moriah with her son. Imagine the sorrow and betrayal in her heart. Imagine the shame in Abraham's after coming home from the very trial of his life, when he was expected to take the life of his own child, the binding of Isaac, only to find that instead it is his beloved partner Sarah that has died. Abraham was a man promised by God to have love, children, a place to call home. And it seems after all this time, he seems to have none of it. Yet the Torah has the audacity to say that the Eternal blessed him in all things. When Abraham's mourning period for Sarah has ended, Rabbi Sacks points out that he rose from his grief and commenced a flurry of activity, including purchasing a field and a cave as a burial plot, and asked Eliezer, his servant, to help find a wife for his son. The blessings of Abraham's life are not found in the happiest moments, but in his choices in the face of great uncertainty and tragedy. Rabbi Sacks writes, "Despite all the promises, God does not and will not do it alone. By the very act of self-limitation, of tzimtzum, through which God creates the space for human freedom, God gives us responsibility, and only by exercising it do we reach our full stature as human beings. God saved Noah from the flood, but Noah had to make the ark. God gave the land of Israel to the people of Israel, but they had to fight the battles. God gave us the strength to act, but we have to do the deed. What changes the world, what fulfills our destiny, is not what God does for us, but what we do for God." What God promises is a grounding, a blueprint, and a setting of expectations upon which we act. God blessed Abraham in all things, even the sad and tragic days when everything feels broken. To be a Jew is to live in these paradoxical moments where we feel broken and blessed at the same time, but to then stand up out of those moments and act. Perhaps more profoundly, God's greatest blessing to Abraham was to be an agent of blessing himself. The Midrash goes on to explain that prior to Abraham, blessing, the act of blessing, was only God's purview. But that now in his old age, Abraham himself supplants God's power to be the father of nations and a source of blessing. Abraham became God's partner, not because he waited around for God to fulfill his destiny, but because he got up from tragedy time and time again and chose to create his own legacy. Rabbi Sachs's teaching reminds us that we are God's partners in creation, in redemption, and in salvation. We must build our future in holy and sacred partnership. One final teaching. Examining closely the verse which tells us of Sarah's death, of her passing in this week's Torah portion, the biblical scholar and translator Robert Alter calls attention to what he calls an extravagant use of repetition. His translation of Genesis 23:1 reads, "And Sarah's life was 127 years, the years of Sarah's life." The legacy of what Sarah left behind, her inheritance, her righteousness, is encapsulated in that reiteration, the years of Sarah's life. Her life and her contribution live on, well beyond the years given to her. So it is with Rabbi Sachs. His contributions to Jewish life and to the world will continue to live on long beyond his years. Zichrono livracha, may his memory be a blessing, and may our deeds and acts live on long beyond our years as well. Shabbat Shalom. We are now going to turn to page 253. For our blessing for healing, Misha Berach.
O Holy One, who blessed our mothers, who blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem, Lehaksikam Ulrapeotam, Lishlach Lahem Refuah Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Betoch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We are now going to turn to page 261.
Rabbi, we need to read the names, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are right. So we remember within our congregation, and I'll read those names, and then please share the names of those who you're remembering in your own family, in your own heart, in the chat, if you'd like to share with the rest who are watching. We remember Rebecca we keep in our hearts for healing and blessing Rebecca Gilman and Bela Pasternak and Hannah Fields Austin and Eran Goichenberg, Sue Toback, Alicia Goldfarb, Paula Steinbach, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Gabrielle Silton, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Gloria Austin, Caitlin Antrim, Judith Bosworth, Kathy Brewster, Doug Austin, Stephanie Holland, Mark Goldberg, Maureen Fenton, Jennifer Rudin, Susan Gruer, Charity Razorday, James Stead, Ed Hansel, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Lori Snyder, Brad Holland, Isley Holland, Jacob McNaughton, Bernie Carmatz, Mike Klein, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Linda Jones, Henry Gerard, Kirby Perkins, Brenda Fang Gerard, Serena Postal, Laura Morris, John Hodges, Brian DeSatnik, Nancy Brewster, Cynthia Tolentino, Sarah Cohen, Marlise Marcus, Bobby Kay, Patricia Kramer, Danny Oni, Bonnie Stead, Jay Edelberg.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Aleihem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
Well, we are entering into a new month pretty soon, this coming week, and it is the month of Kislev. Kislev is the month that has within it, on the 25th of Kislev is Hanukkah, and please watch for both the December Kahila and upcoming congregational emails. We have a number of special Hanukkah events planned, opportunities for us to light our candles together, to share a Hanukkah service together, and even a special drive-in event. So just watch for it so that you can join us. So we're going to offer a prayer for the new month of Kislev.
Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, shetechadesh aleinu et hachodesh haba, et hachodesh haba, letova ve'livracha. ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, חיים של שלום, חיים של פרנסה, חיים שתהבנו אהבת תורה, ויראת שמיים חיים, שימלאו משאלות ליבנו לטובה. Amen.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, and prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good.
Rosh Chodesh Kislev yeh b'yom hashlishi.
The new month of Kislev will begin on Tuesday. And this last week, on Wednesday of this week, we observe Veterans Day to honor all of those who have served our country. There was a Jewish community-wide program sponsored by the Jewish Welfare Board and the Jewish Community Centers. That was a virtual program, and we did a little bit on our Zoom Siyum. And Cantor Bush wanted to offer this evening as well a prayer.
Ribbonu shel olam, Ribbonu shel olam, anu korim levirkatcha, al chayale tzva artzot habrit, הנשים והגברים, המצרים שגבורתם ומסירותם למדינתנו, מגינה על כולנו Ribbonu Shalom, Ribbonu Shalom, Yoter Mikol Anu, Noseim Tefillah, Sheyizku la'ashav, B'shalom bimhera. Uviriut tova lemishpechotei ham ul aretsam. Whether by air, land, or sea, wherever their orders take them, we ask, dear God, that they be protected within your sheltering presence. Ribbonu Shalom, Ribbonu Shalom, Ribbonu Shalom.
A prayer for the armed forces of the United States of America. I'd like to invite Gary Gilbert to turn on his camera, and there he is. Hi, Gary. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everybody. I wish to thank Rabbi Kupitz and Cantor Bush for leading us in Tefillah this evening. Thanks also to Randy Polivoy for that wonderful rendition of Felix Mendelssohn. Although we cannot gather together in person, TBI remains very active and offering numerous ways for you to participate in the life of our community. We are continuing, of course, with our Shabbat and Havdalah and Zoom Siyum gatherings. In addition, both the preschool and the Beit Sefer continue to serve and educate our children, both in person and virtually. And tremendous thanks goes both to Deborah Pruitt and Natalie Horowitz for their stellar work. So some announcements about some upcoming events that TBI has organized and that you can do to enrich your lives. So please, the first one is please join Rabbi Kupitz in a course from the Shalom Hartman Institute entitled The Future of Jewish Peoplehood. These multimedia presentations address the complexity of Jewish peoplehood in the contemporary challenges it faces in our two different homes, Israel and North America. These informative and thought-provoking sessions meet every Tuesdays until December 15th at 7:15 p.m. So that's Tuesday, 7:15, Future of the Jewish People. In addition, Cantor Bush and Rabbi Kupitz, as if they're not already doing enough in our community, are presenting Introduction to Judaism. This class meets on Wednesdays at 7:15. And if you are interested, please call the office for more information. Next, the Israel Bookshelf concludes this coming Wednesday, November 18th at 6:30 p.m. Please note this is a change in time from our normal 7:15 start. We will begin 45 minutes earlier at 6:30. And the earlier time is necessary because I will be joined by Ken Stern, the author of The Conflict Over the Conflict, the Israel-Palestine Campus Debate, who will be joining us for this event from his home in New York. And for those of you who have always wanted to know more about the anti-Israel events taking place on college campuses and what can be done and what cannot be done, you will not want to miss this discussion. If you are not already on the Israel Bookshelf list, please contact the Temple and we will arrange to get you the information, the Zoom link for that Wednesday session. Next Shabbat, we will have a special and most timely speaker. The Brenda Rosenfeld Scholars Series presents Professor Jack Pitney of Claremont McKenna College, my colleague, who will provide his expert insights into the recent election. What just happened? Why? What does it mean for the future of our country? All those questions will be, and more will be answered by Professor Pitney, and you will definitely not want to miss this event. Finally, our own Dina Lane will present a Zoom Hanukkah Hebrew class on Sundays, November 22nd and November 29th from 11 to 11:45 a.m. Please join Dina in a celebration of Hanukkah songs, liturgy, and more. It'll be lots of fun. Plus, every participant gets a beautifully illustrated 32-page book with all kinds of information and activities. This material is free, but please call the office to register for this and also to receive your booklet. Details about all of these events and the other programs that are going on in our community can be found in your November Kehillah and also in the weekly email update. And to all, I wish Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Gary. Thank you so much. I have to change the spotlight here. There we go. Thank you so much, and Shabbat Shalom to you and your family. We're going to move toward the conclusion of our service with Aleinu L'Shabeach. It's on page 282. And if you're able, you can once again rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our life and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. Remember the recent deaths of Ivor Medlitsky, brother of Harold, uncle of Russell. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Philip Blank, Bernard Nagby, Isaac Silveira, Tony Zoller, Alan Aaron, Fanny Eisenberg, Abe Fandel, Merton Gill, Jay Ginsberg, Rabbi Stanley Rosenbaum, Philip Siegel, Murray Slomka, Harry Sokol, David Kimmel, Ruth Klein, Rian Joel Rowe, Mildred Schulman, Harriet Gull, Bertha Hurwitz, Nathan Landsberg, Dr. Israel Langsner, Norbert Lowe, Marvin Minoff, Iris Sachs, Cecile Sachs-Abers, Melvin Clyde Wright, Hannah Cohen, Sam Malam, Shirley Priegel, Morris Sidkoff, H.E. Bornstein, Morris Englund, Molly Lewis, Bessie Lichtenstein, Jean Rosenblum, Ira Rosenfeld, Claude Stout, Gloria Gogo Wexler, Julian Ambrose, Rose Arnold, Elaine Esbit, Hal Feder, Forrest McDonald, Victor Ornbach, Raymond Schulman, Sally Ambrose, and Melvin Gerard. If you have people that you're remembering and holding in your heart on this Shabbat, please feel free to mention their names in the chat. We join in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah. V'alma divrach hirute v'amlich malchute. V'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei dukudasha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'miram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be for a blessing. We close our service with Biado, which is up on your screen, page 321, and then we'll have a moment for Kiddush and Motzi.
Biado of Kiddushi, Be'erishan ve'a'ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Be'ado of Kiddushi, Be'erishan ve'a'ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira.
If you have a Kiddush cup or a little juice or wine, you can grab it so that you can join us for our blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrei kodesh, zechar letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, Ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh haShabbat. Chaim.
L'chaim. Grab a little challah.
We got our delicious challah delivered today by the challah team. Thank you, challah team. Here we go. Join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you soon. We'll be together for Havdalah at 6:45 tomorrow evening on our Zoom Siyum channel. You can join us then. Behitraot. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. See you tomorrow.